thoughts, ideas, concerns. And today I was thinking about just the base level of understanding of what I do and why I do it. Because if I don't understand that and reinforce that constantly, then I will likely lose track of what is important to me and why I do the work that I do. So let's go over it. My obsession is with helping businesses and bars and brands establish a footprint in the marketplace. That's it. So I want to occupy. I just want to occupy the space between the buyers and the sellers, because I believe that helping them build a symbiotic relationship, which is oftentimes contentious, would be the most impactful time that I can use in my business. And so I have kind of zeroed in on this one space between the buyers and the sellers, and everything I do kind of drives and expands from that place. So that's why I do viral giveaways for my clients. That's why I do marketing services for my clients, because they are in need of some basic understanding of how to do marketing. And the most effective way, the most cost effective way to help them is through cost effective marketing that doesn't really cost a lot of money. So my services range between $497. Actually, no, you can even get a piece of software from me every month for $197. That's a do-it-yourself version for $197, and I'll implement a full-on crazy automated marketing system that I don't give you any advice anymore. Here's a tool, you go build your house. After that, there's a couple bells and whistles that we can add to that marketing system that add a lot more functionality, add a lot more value. That goes up to $497 a month, but again, it's still a DIY system. Now, beyond that is a service that uses that marketing system as a hub, and that's built for both restaurants and for brands, by the way. That uses that marketing system as a hub. And then I offer some stuff on top of that, including like viral giveaways, a little bit of copywriting, massaging, and advice. I'll get my guys to work on your system as far as like doing some blog content for your Google My Business, which really helps out a lot. We'll give you some advice and some additional support. And that goes up from $997 a month and above. And so all this stuff is kind of built into derives from the obsession with being the most profitable, most helpful for you without actually breaking the bank. So I really dislike taking money out of bars and restaurants. I do. They have enough problems already. They have enough compliance. They have enough issues, and so I really like to provide as much low cost, low impact, low effort, low friction marketing services as possible, because they need the help. And my mentors, my advisors, the people that I've worked with for a long time, they're like, why do you serve the people that don't have the most money? Why do you serve people that don't have any money at all? And the reason for that is because one, even with a little bit of effort on my side, it proves a huge amount of value for them. And so I can easily articulate ROI with just a week or two of work, and then we can compound upon that by creating databases that didn't exist, building basic websites that didn't exist before, creating viral incentives for people to come back, for people to come in the first place and to come back. And oftentimes it's like what is very easy for me, what is something that I've spent the last 10 years putting together, is very difficult for a lot of people to understand. And so for a minimal amount of effort on my part, I can create a maximum impact for my clients. And so that's why I charge what I charge. I don't like to charge an enormous amount of money, but it really depends on how much support you want. If you want a done for you service where I'm basically your marketing agency, then it costs thousands of dollars a month, because it takes a lot of effort on my part. But if you have more time than money, then I have a tool for you that I can just put in your hand that you can learn how to use, and we'll support you on that in that process too. So we'll support you in the process of learning how to use this extraordinarily powerful tool that is already built with an enormous amount of automations in it. And so what I've done for the last several years is I've been like, wait a second, what can be automated? And wait a second, what is not automated? And what is a revenue generating activity for a client? And what is not a revenue generating activity for a client? And each of those processes I've articulated and been like, this is how much time it takes. Can this be outsourced? Yes. Can this be automated? Yes. So all the things that can be outsourced and or can be automated are articulated in the system that I built. And that is that is years and years of actually doing the work myself, trying, failing, refining, and then working with clients to automate further. And so that's kind of what JLOS is all about. Yes, I called it JLOS. This is JLOS, Jason Littrell Operating System. Yes, the vanity is real, y'all. I did name it after myself, but yeah, it's called JLOS. We get caught up in a lot of searches for Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. But that's fine, I guess. I mean, it's not really the same customer, and people aren't really have the same search intention. But yeah, so we are getting a lot of hits on the website for the wrong reasons, but that's fine. I don't care. But yeah, so the system is designed to make your life easier on autopilot, and that's why because it's just a piece of software, it's infinitely scalable, and it's something I can offer at a broad scale for a relatively low cost. And so, yeah, if you're struggling to capture information what we do is we give you a new phone number, and every time somebody calls that phone number, just imagine you're a plumber for a second. Every time somebody calls that phone number, we treat them as a lead, right? And so they call, and we say, "Cool, I'm sorry we missed your call," and then we text them back saying, "Sorry we missed your call. What can we help you with?" And if they don't return that message, then we'll text them every week saying, "Hey, did you know that here's a fun thing that we do." Every month on an occasion we'll be like, "Happy Labor Day. Give us a call if we can do anything for you." And we just constantly nudge, constantly nurture until somebody says, "No, thank you. I'm not interested right now." In which case we'll put them into a different kind of a lead automation form. Or if they say, "No, thank you forever," then we'll never bother them again. But in any case, oftentimes what we're doing is we're receiving phone calls, we're receiving inbound interest, and we're not doing anything with it. And so that is a lost lead. That is something that we will likely never get back. And so what our system does is it captures that phone number from the person. We automatically text them back, and then we'll blow your phone up, telling you to call this person back in 5 minutes, because once they call you, it's a high intent lead. And so if you're not calling them back within 5 minutes, then the likelihood of closing a deal drops precipitously. So if we were a plumber, for instance, then they would just go on to the next plumber. But because we're brands, they typically have, if they're reaching out to us with that high level of intent, then they're looking for you. And so the whole ecosystem of everything that I'm building, like the supplier summit, who'smyrep.com, who'smyrep.net, and now the Brand Builder Mastermind, is designed to help you be a better person, to be a better brand builder, or be a better restaurant owner. And all of these are designed to serve your customer better. Maybe a way to serve your customers better is to be discoverable, and that's what the who'smyrep.net is for. It's for search engine optimization and to be discoverable in the same place. The Supplier Summit is to connect buyers and sellers with information that's actionable for them to find out what they need, find out what the current marketplace is begging for them to know. And so that's where that information came from. And then the Brand Builder Mastermind is about creating ongoing information and accountability for suppliers and supplier reps, because that training typically doesn't exist. Now, the next iteration of Who's My Rep is going to be the Supplier Salon, where we actually debate specific topics, and so we can actually take a position on things, and actually get yourself in front of people who may or may not share that same position, because we found that values are a huge part of a buying decision. So if they don't share the values with you, if they don't share your same values, and if you're not passionately defending your values, and they don't know about it, then typically your brand will go unnoticed. But unless you're willing to spend a bunch of money to get in front of people on social media, then you'll likely be unnoticed. And so if you want to spend $0, then you put yourself out there as a person with a position. And this is why TikTok is so valuable as far as virality is concerned, is because people say their opinions, and if your opinion resonates and is shared with other people, then by default they will discover your brand through you. And so I think that is much more effective organic positioning, is talking about yourself and the values that you have, rather than talking about the brand values, because they will discover the brand values, and you wouldn't work for that brand if you didn't share their values anyways. So Yeah, so all this stuff is linked together. May look like I'm acting kind of randomly, but I'm not. And so I would love for you to check out one of the multiple free things that I'm offering because I believe in my bones that what we're doing is we're creating a movement that is connecting these two big huge groups together, like the buyers and the suppliers, and moving them closer together so that they can more effectively work together and build based on the things that are meaningful to them. So that's it for day 7. That's all I wanted to talk about. But thank you so much for spending the time here, and I look forward to seeing you